is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have worn out welcome with this Jamaican lady. She says she will no longer offer short-term stays at her property, I guess it's an Airbnb, in Jamaica to Black Americans. And this is why.
African people stay here, I have Jamaican people stay here, I have white people stay here, I have Spanish people stay here, and I have Black Americans stay here. I'm not saying not all Black Americans are bad, but the ones that came to my place have been nothing but problem. Only two good ones came here, all of them. Fight late at night, not with me, with each other. They're disrespectful, they're entitled, they're unappreciative. And it is that way because America has spoiled them and give them so much free shit. I'm not saying all of you are like that, but because of that, I'm not risking my health and my happiness for people. No short-term stay. No short-term stay. It's not going to happen here. I'd rather eat salt and banana and let goats and cows live into my houses than I have people come here and stress me. I will not hate my business because of customers. A lot of business people are miserable because of some kind of customer. Not this place. I don't want, my place is drama-free.
So if by chance you were expecting to stay at one of her properties in Jamaica on your island retreat, think again. You are persona non grata because you are so rude and disrespectful and so entitled because America has given you so much. America has given you Black people everything you could possibly want, and you go all over the world expecting people to give you something. So that is what she had to say. And I just had to laugh when I saw this because I thought, here we go again. Somebody else beating up on Black Americans up out of nowhere, just coming up out of nowhere. And this is a cute, it's like she's got some cute little, I guess these are cute little huts or whatever that is she's got there. They look very cute. And everybody in the world knows how to treat her property and behave with each other and be civilized, except Black Americans. Well, do I think Black Americans have gone to Jamaica to her little huts or whatever those are and been rude? I don't doubt it. She said one or two are nice, but the majority of Black Americans don't know how to act when they come to her properties. I would say that you are known by the company you keep. And if those Black Americans are coming to your place behaving like that, you are absolutely right not to rent to them. I know Black Americans who are very rude. I know Black Americans who have a sense of entitlement. But is that the majority of Black Americans? No. I question why she doesn't tell us where this is, where she is, where her property or properties are located. And give us more descriptions about the people that are coming there. How does she know for a fact that these are Black Americans? They could be Jamaicans who are coming back to Jamaica to have the Jamaican experience, and they behave like Americans because they were raised in America. How could she be so certain that these are Black Americans? I have a real problem with this because you can't tell a Black American from a Jamaican, from a Haitian, from a Trinidadian unless they tell you if all of them were raised in the United States. You cannot tell the difference. So is she doing a survey? Is she vetting people to find out if they're Black Americans or not? See, I have a problem with that. She needs to give us more identification. She needs to give us we need some receipts. She needs to give us some dates and some times and some incidents. I'm not saying she needs to call people's names. But on second thought, she should call names. She should call names because if she's going to make that kind of indictment against a whole group of people, then somebody needs to be able to defend themselves, whoever they are that she's talking about, because she's not talking about all Black Americans. And her little huts, as attractive and cute as they are, would not be the preferred place for most Black Americans to stay on vacation in the first place. She needs to give us more context because the way she's saying it, for people who want to believe her, they're going to believe her. But for people like me, I need more information. So I don't know. I have no idea whether this woman is telling the truth or not. This could just be her way of trying to promote her business. Like, everybody's welcome except those black Americans. And there are a lot of people who would be attracted to that just on the basis of that, because I would think that the least people that would want to stay in these little wilderness type huts that she has would be black Americans. I don't even see Africans want to stay there, but maybe. But this is the sort of thing that white people would do, maybe Indians, maybe Asians. But this is really not, I don't see this. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Because that's not something that I would see black Americans as wanting to stay out there. Yes, the beach, yes. But black Americans like conveniences too much. And something tells me that you won't have the best conveniences in those little huts. And on the basis of what I just said, it would not surprise me if some black American, especially some black American woman, had made some kind of disparaging remark or remarks about those little huts. Because what kind of water do they have running in there? Do they have air conditioning? Do they have heat in the evening? Do they have access to heat if it gets cold at night? What are the food selections and how is it prepared? Black Americans are going to want to know all of that before they stay in a place like that. So I'm wondering what her motivation is. But this is what stuck out to me when she started talking about how much free stuff we get in America and what a sense of entitlement we have in America. I can actually agree with this woman on one hand because I know there are rude black Americans. But I do not believe that the majority of black Americans that are coming to her property are rude and disrespectful with a sense of entitlement and think they should be able to stay there for free. This is just another dig at black Americans because they're mad because black Americans have said to black immigrants, the free ride is over. Affirmative action is not for you, it's for the descendants of slavery. And then black Americans are increasingly separating and isolating themselves from other groups of black people. Now, I'm not saying I think that's right, and I don't even think it's smart, but that's what's happening. And people are taking exception to it because they have taken for granted that they can come to the United States of America and whatever black Americans have worked for, whatever our ancestors and whatever we have worked for, they feel like they're entitled to it too, even down to reparations. Even though they are asking for reparations from England, Jamaicans are, because that's who enslaved them. When they come here, they think they should get in on our reparations bandwagon. And when black Americans say no, they get mad. So that's one of the things. And I think that Jamaicans are especially angry because black Americans have had a big pushback against Jamaicans claiming that they created rap music. When black Americans have brought the evidence that we were rapping back in the 1920s, in the 19-teens, black Americans have always rapped. And the Jamaican that they try to give credit to for creating rap, DJ Herc, has told them that he did not create rap. He was in New York at the time that rap began. And he was just working with what black Americans were doing and had always done. He has acknowledged that. And every other Jamaican that they try to credit with creating rap either admits that they did not create it, but they began doing rap along with black Americans, or the person is not Jamaican in the first place. They never were Jamaican. But they are mad about that because that's something that they were trying to take credit for that they didn't do. And it went on for a long time. And then black Americans started bringing receipts, bringing early recordings of black people rapping back in the 1920s when Jamaicans couldn't even come here. And so they brought receipts. And so the Jamaicans are mad about that. And they are really mad about that. They're also angry because attention is always given to black Americans. There are tens of millions of black Americans and maybe 7 or 9 or so million Jamaicans. So that's a vast difference in the populations. And because we are Americans. And black Americans can't help but act like white Americans to some extent. Now, white Americans have had the reputation of being the ugly Americans for a long time. And they call them that because of the rudeness and the sense of entitlement that white Americans have exhibited when they've gone abroad. And most of that has to do with the fact that We don't recognize that American culture is not everybody's culture. So white Americans have always been viewed as the ugly American traveler. So I think that they have decided they're going to attach that to black Americans because they are angry. This sense of always having something to say about black Americans. I really think these people need to do a self check. I think these people need to do a wellness check to make sure your heart is in the right place. You're operating from the right place. Because even though I do believe she's right, there are black Americans who would come and rent from her that are rude. I do not believe for 1 minute that black Americans are so much worse than everybody else. Black Americans didn't enslave her. Black Americans are not the reason why she's stuck out there on that island in her little huts, I guess, that she's renting out. But this is just another instance of the beat up on black Americans because I'm mad at them about something. And I think what we have to do is kind of just check ourselves and make sure that we are operating with good manners and we're operating in a respectful manner towards other people. But this to me sounds like a bitter person who has a bone to pick with black Americans, and she's blaming it on somebody coming to rent property from her and they're not behaving correctly because she hasn't brought any receipts. She doesn't call any names. She hasn't given us any dates. She hasn't given us anything specific. She's just speaking in generalities about black Americans. And America has given us so much free stuff. How would she know that? These people who come here from other countries are the first one lined up to get something welfare. These people who come here, black immigrants included, are the first ones to line up at the welfare office to get something free or to get something for nothing. That's how come they're risking life and limb to get here in the first place, because they think they're going to get something for nothing. But black Americans have started pushing back about some of this grifting and some of this tethering and some of this I deserve it because it's yours and I deserve it. And so black Americans are pushing back against it, and rightly so. So if she doesn't want to rent to black Americans, then I agree with her. Don't rent to them. Because most black Americans that go to Jamaica are not going down there to have the wilderness experience. Black Americans like to ball when they go somewhere. They like to glam it up. So most black Americans who are going to Jamaica are going to resorts where Jamaicans in reality are not even welcome unless they're there working. So let's be real. Let's keep it real. And let's be respectful of our brothers and sisters and others who are not our brothers and sisters wherever we go. I think that is what we should do. We are required to do that. But I think this woman is really kind of just another bitter black person mad at black Americans, probably because she thinks black Americans have advantages and privileges that she doesn't have. And she's probably right about that. So she can just keep her cute little huts to herself and rent to white people and Asians and Indians and Africans and anybody else that wants to go there. Black people, black Americans, when you go to Jamaica, get your money right and stay at a real resort and have a good time. That's what I say. Okay, but what say you? Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.